There was a scandal involving Lego.
Oh boy, did it ignite the internet?
It reminded me a lot of Tiger King, Making a Murderer, these kind of some of the high profile trials. But this, when some kind of scandal or mystery becomes the public intrigue, but normally it's a Netflix series or it's something that you're following on the news, like the OJ trial. It's not normally like an old man doesn't have his Legos, and I don't think it has ever been on YouTube, right? This kind of thing has been like where it's a YouTube show that's showcasing it.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest like YouTube thing that I've probably ever seen. Like that has kind of ignited the pop culture, I would say.
Yeah. Like everybody's talking about it. Everybody is obsessed with it. And it's now become like really disappointing in terms of our entertainment because it seems like the lawsuits have basically stopped it cold.
And this is a developing story. This is rapidly developing. By the time we get this up, it's going to be already old. There's going to be like a response to CoffeeZilla, and everything that we've said is going to be obsolete. So we got to get this out quick.
There's too much ancillary content related to this thing. You can't keep up with it.
There's like an economy now based on this story.
Totally. No, I've seen channels with 40 views about the Lego scandal. I've seen big channels getting millions of views that have nothing to do with it talking about it. Every major podcaster weighs in. And so what we're going to explore, so we're going to recap it for people who have no idea what it is. That's one of the services we can provide on this podcast is if you're an unk like us, and you're kind of outside the
you love your Unk Slop, your Zelda 64, and your Half-Life 2.
If you spend too much time at work and parenting to know what the Lego scandal is, we can fill you in. And then I want to kind of explore, like, why is it that this would capture everybody's imagination and attention so much? I think I have some theories. But this is reminding me, EJ, for me, the last time something kind of like this happened would have been Nikocado, not nearly to this scale.
No,
but where there's like it's like, oh, if you're a fan of YouTube, if you like this platform, if you're like, what can this platform do that's not like TV? What does it mean for everybody to be able to make user generated content? What does that all like add up to? Nikocado, of course, revealed a 200-pound weight loss or something without anybody knowing it. Pretty fucking cool. Not only on YouTube. Okay, so an 83-year-old man had what the video describes as the world's largest Star Wars Lego collection, a lifetime of Star Wars Lego collecting. As far back as there were Lego Star Wars, this guy's been collecting, as far as I can tell. The collection, according to him in the video, was valued at $200,000. That's since been debunked. Even Reckless Ben, the guy at the center of this whole thing, says it's like 125. Now there's a CoffeeZilla video that's come out that kind of said, well, really, the average based on highs and lows would be more like 105. Yeah. So it's probably closer to 105. It sounds like, but big money.
But if you're like, but people in the media do this, even reporters do this all the time. If you can highball everything, they will give you the higher number because it's more sensational.
Yeah, exactly. It hurts the credibility of our faithful narrator a little bit because most of the story was told through the eyes of a 30-year-old YouTuber. So
yeah, Reckless Ben, he's very much a YouTuber of the era, and like he's very he's seeking to entertain, and he definitely couches things in the most like naive way possible, I would say, or the most like broad way possible.
Broad, just like yeah, totally.
Yeah, where it's just like when he's confronting somebody, he's like, oh, well, you're evil and you stole things, so why am I in trouble? It's like, like it's like.
Although there are times where I'm like, hell yeah, amen, Reckless Ben. I'm like, I'm not following this either.
But it's just like everything is kind of in that lens, is what I'm saying. It's like, they're evil.
Everything
they're evil
is 1 + 1 is 2. Yeah, right.
They're evil and stealing from old people, so I'm just doing good. It's like that's the whole thing.
As we said, 1 billion videos were made about this, but really there are 2. There's an hour and 25-minute one, and there's like a 46-minute one. There's Reckless Ben's part 1 and part 2. And if you were watching the main TV series, if that's what this was, those would be the two episodes that exist. And anything else would be podcasting and talking about and buzzing about what happened.
Yeah,
But really,
be Talking Dead after the show.
Talking Dead. You got it. Exactly. So this 83-year-old, via his son, Brian, consigned the collection. Apparently, there's health issues. He needs the money. So he consigned it to a Bricks and Minifigs franchise. Bricks and Minifigs, a Lego seller. So for those who don't know, if you consign product, it means that instead of trying to find a buyer who's going to buy $100,000 or $200,000 worth of property, they'll sell it for you. They'll take 5%, 15%, whatever, and you get the rest, right? So if you're trying to start making money fast on your valuable property, that's a pretty good way to do it. So they signed a big agreement. He hands over all the property, which in retrospect, I'm thinking that was a mistake. Maybe withholds, giving it up. And then the franchise changed hands mysteriously.
Yeah, it's not really, I don't think it's been ever explained why.
But the owner of the franchise, this woman, her husband had to actually leave the country due to some work-related reasons.
My husband and I were planning on moving out of the country.
Whatever happened, there was one franchisee. They were basically pushed out, and another franchisee took over the store. And that couple is strange. They're like strange communists or something. I don't know.
And corporate now seems to blame everything on them. They're really going in hard on it's their fault. But there was an agreement, as far as I can tell. And once it changed hands, and apparently there's security footage of the former owners disclosing and talking about that collection.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours. He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment.
Yeah.
And then once it changed hands, they started putting up classifieds of that dude's collection. They named him, I think, in the ads on social media. They had it. They were selling it. And the family never saw, they basically ghosted the family. They were like, we're just selling your stuff and fuck you. It seems to be what happened. And he just got the deal, the consignment deal got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. And from what, it seems like, they got $20,000 of the sales, but there's still $80,000 or $50,000 that still have not been paid back to them. But also, Jason said, this is the fact that it's such a low number, 50 to 80,000, almost makes it worse because the corporate is acting so shady to cover all this stuff up and to paper over it.
Yeah,
and it's just pay him for his stuff and move on.
Well, so they stiffed him, they ghosted him. The son kept coming back and trying to make it, try to get what was his. They trespassed him, so he can't go to the store without they'll call the cops on him. So they're like, get out, which is fucked up. What are you talking about? I didn't donate this, this product to you. So super unfair. And there's this absolute fucking Karen bitch of a manager named Amanda that kept getting on. She was the worst. I hate this woman.
So basically my friend said that, you guys have some of his Legos, I think, and he told me to come here and see if I could pick them up.
Who's your friend?
I think they're Brian's Legos. It's a big Star Wars collection set, I think.
You could go ahead and leave now.
Really?
So you could go ahead and leave now, or I will call the police for harassment.
Well, I'm not harassing you.
No, you are. Hi.
Here's the thing. So the former franchisees, they don't seem they don't seem that reliable. And then the new franchisees, they also don't. They seem pretty I wouldn't want to fuck with them either.
It's almost like if your profession is selling Legos, you're a bit weird.
You're a bit weird, and you're an asshole, and you're shady. And then they when they bring the CEOs in, it's these guys suck too. It's everyone kind of sucks.
Yeah, they're a bunch of, really unprofessional assholes all across the board. Overly defensive and really guarded. Ego
driven. It's
because to me, it's no matter what happened, Like, even if there are finer details, clearly this family didn't just drop off the product and say, like, hope you enjoy it. It's a famous collection of Star Wars Legos.
So I think a friend of Brian reached out to Reckless Ben, YouTuber Reckless Ben, who did videos about like cults and stuff. He like got into some cults to expose them and stuff like that.
Infiltrated.
And infiltrated is the word as I was looking for. And so a friend of Brian's contacts him. It's like, oh, would you be interested in like covering this? And Reckless Ben was like, hell yeah. And so they basically like enlisted a circus clown to go and fuck their shit.
And he was all too happy to do it, to ride the unicycle. And what I didn't realize, because, you know, like if Mr. Beast did something or some other big, huge, multi-million subscriber YouTuber, I always assume that they have lots of money to burn and they'll, you know, that's kind of what protects them and stuff. Turns out he was like, actually, I don't really make very much on YouTube at all, because even though I have high view counts, all my stuff's demonetized because we tend to attack the powerful and, you know, stick up for the little guy.
He does it for the love of the game.
So it was like a 16-hour drive for him to get to, I think, from California to Oregon, because the store was in Oregon, Salem, Oregon. But I thought it had the YouTube video itself had a great hook, which was, I will stop at nothing to get this Lego collection back to its rightful owner.
And I will do literally whatever it takes, even if I have to take down the entire police force. I will stop at nothing until this family gets their entire Lego Star Wars collection back.
The YouTube video has everything. Like, it's like Legos. Everyone loves Legos. Good topic. People love it. You can animate the Legos in your videos. It's great. You have Reckless Ben is just an interesting character because he's so his tenacity and his naivete is kind of like the way he broadly puts things. It's very charming.
His youthful appeal. He also he's like almost too casual about how serious things start to get, and so that there's a certain he feels invincible to some degree, you know. Yeah,
and so you got that, and you also have an old person being taken advantage of. So there's you want to root for Reckless Ben to like basically get these Legos back.
Yeah.
And so
you're trying to understand too. You're like, how could this not be theft?
Yeah.
It is, right? Or like sure seems like it, you know.
Yeah, because even if like the corporate was like, oh well, Bricks and Minifigs don't do consignments, and
it's like, but you did. There's an agreement. What do you mean? Like, okay, maybe one of your franchises fucked up, but you're on the hook for that fuck up, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and like in the grand scheme of things, like you gotta just make it right. Like this is a $50,000 to $80,000. Just make it right.
I hear this is a $400 million company, Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah, but
they do this whole Grapes of Wrath thing where they're like, corporate, you got to talk to corporate, and corporate's like, you got to talk to the franchise. We don't have anything to do with the franchise. They give them this runaround.
You have to talk to the store owner. Yeah, like they're all locally owned and operated, and we can't do anything with it here. Their decisions are their decisions. For sure.
So when they say go to corporate, how do we respond next time?
I have no idea.
The video kind of reveals that like things don't necessarily happen in the order that you're watching them in the video.
Yeah.
So he's able to be like, but we already knew that was going to happen. So, but basically, he's walking in there with his meta glasses and, hey, I just want the Legos back, and they call the cops and now they're trespassed. You're not allowed to come back here ever again. Then he goes, all right, well, we really want to contact the owner. So they manipulate kind of like an autistic employee, into joining a Lego cult in the woods.
Yeah. That's definitely like the YouTubey, like, I don't know, Mr. Beastie, like, like kind of showman.
We started a Lego cult. The minute the video started, as soon as they were walking into Bricks and Minifigs saying, where are the Legos? I was like, can't you show up with a constable or a lawyer? And like right off the bat. And, the argument was that Brian, the son, had gone to a lawyer and they said, this is going to take 3 to 4 years to litigate. You're going to spend more than it's worth. You're going down a bad road. It's just not going to work.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. If we go to court, we're going to drag this thing out so long, and you're going to end up spending so much more money than your collection is ever worth or what you ever would have gotten on it, that it ain't worth it, man. So if that's the route you want to go, and I go, that's really the route you want to go, rather than just letting me walk in there, and he goes, well.
Yeah, at the point that Reckless Ben got involved, he basically wrote off all of that. Like all that stuff, he was like, I know I'm not going to see any of it. So like, at that point, he had nothing to lose, basically.
If I just got a lawyer, I wouldn't be able to show how corrupt this company is because the lawyers would have just talked it out. Basically, the whole point of my channel is kind of just like showing how these big corrupt companies can just take advantage of the small guy. And once you get lawyers involved, you don't really get to see that as much, I guess. Basically, I wanted this whole Lego video to be from the perspective of just some average person that a company's bullying without any resources.
Yeah, and sometimes like embarrassing a corporation is the best way to get their attention. You know, that's why people tweet corporations. Right?
Yeah.
You drag it out in public.
Yeah, dogpile on them because most corporations are weak and they bow down to public pressure.
Yeah, right. But they love nothing more than to fuck you over in private. So
yeah.
There's a lot of that. And yeah, so I think that's one of the appeals of this whole story is everybody's kind of been there before. There was some episode a couple of years ago, like in first grade, where Gloria, she likes to collect cool rocks and then she puts them in her pocket. She comes home with a pocket full of rocks. She's such a little kid. And she, more so back then. And some teacher at recess had it in her head that the music teacher had a rock collection that Gloria stole it. It was totally untrue. There was no such rock collection. And she was not none of this happened. And then like Nina wrote a letter and then like the teacher like privately like mocked Gloria a little bit for, she's like, oh, you're having your mom write a letter. Right. And never did a mea culpa. And it's just, and then eventually you just move on, right? You're like, whatever. This obviously like lied about me as being dishonest. And you move on. But we've all faced like, hey, shouldn't somebody be stopping you from doing that? And then you realize like there's no authority that can properly enforce justice.
Yeah. Or that person is the authority and it's just unfair and you can't really do anything about it.
In fact, I think it's a good lesson for young people to learn early is like, hey, just so you know, like sometimes you're going to run into shit where like you're just going to have to navigate it because there's no recourse.
No.
But $100,000 of loss is that's you can't
especially if you're sick and old. Yeah, you definitely don't want to lose that.
Well, and theoretically, this collection was precious to him, right? I mean, you don't collect Lego for your whole life without it meaning something to you, and you want it to be in people's hands, and whatever. So it is super unfair. So he's able to manipulate the girl into giving him this guy Josh's number, the franchise owner. And this guy is like a thug. Like he's a defensive dickhead. He's the biggest dickhead of the story, wouldn't you say, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely.
They got body cam footage of him now where he's clearly buddies with, so spoilers, we learn that like he's a big time Mormon and the Mormon police force, they're all friends. They all go to the same church. You hear about this, that in Mormon country, they gang up a little bit. Like that's how, people leave,
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of communities are like that. Like people talk about like the Indian mafia, like this person's friends with this person. Group communities do this.
Once you have strength in numbers, you can do almost anything you want.
Yeah. It's this is just happens to be one of those communities, and if you call the cops, they might not help you. They'll help the other guy.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like it all got caught up in it's like, well, if you guys had a deal and somebody's reneging on the contract, that's contract law, and contract law is that's a civil dispute. So you gotta.
But you can't trespass right now because that's against the law.
Because that's a criminal.
And if this person says go away, you have to go away. Even if you are right in this circumstance, you have to go away.
So just fundamentally, that's a problem. And so it's like, no, sorry. If somebody steals $100,000 from you, you just have to spend $100,000 and 4 years of your life to do something about it. Like that's the situation. So they were trying to think they're like, what could we do? All right, we got to kind of turn this into a criminal violation on their part. So we got to kind of entrap them in a criminal violation. So like, well, if you steal from a lottery, then that's a criminal violation. So since we believe it's still our property, we'll auction off the Legos for $1 or $2 or whatever. And then when they don't surrender the Legos, they have now stolen from the lottery, right? So they try to make that happen. What happens? They just call the cops. The cops tell them to fuck off. They make a website called WeStealFromOldPeople.com. They put up a big sign in front of the store that says "We Steal from Old People." They end up on the phone with Josh. They start getting kind of aggro with one another. Reckless Ben's like, "I think you're scared." Yeah, you're scared.
Yeah, he does. He does these weird little threats. It's
Okay, you want to do double or nothing?
What are you talking about? Are you stupid?
If you're wrong, you pay us double. If I'm wrong, I pay you double.
Bro, are you dumb? You're obviously a kid. You don't know how this works.
I think you're scared. Double or nothing. Let's do it.
You're so dumb, bro.
I think you're scared.
I love his his kind of like casual skater friends who are just all over the place. There's all these dudes that are willing to throw their lives away for this video.
Yeah, or like there's one part where they make that bitch lady in the store sign a paper like for a package, but it actually said like, "Oh, we can't trespass," which is totally, you can't do that. You can't use deception to sign a contract. But
in the whole video, they're trying to be careful not to do things that you can't do, but then they do them anyway. Things like that.
You can't sign a contract with deception. They do that.
Like claim splitting, because then they were like, well, small claims court would go a lot faster than, suing over $200,000. So like, well, what if each of you bought $10,000 pieces of the Legos and each of them, because there becomes a weird thing where it becomes clear that Bricks and Minifigs want them to sue. They're like, ooh, sue us. Yeah, do it. Because they've got the backing and they feel like they're in the right.
If you think it's illegal, why don't you sue me? It's a civil matter. Tell Brian to put his money where his mouth is. Let's go to court.
By the time they were suing, then they seemed to get scared. Like,
yeah, because they didn't want to be served. Yeah. And that's where the whole body cam footage where he's like, it's a fake lawsuit. Just don't give me that paper. Don't serve me. Don't make sure they don't serve because it's a fake lawsuit.
Are you okay if she just gives you the paper so we can just get
Have
her?
you looked at the papers? I've talked to the Kaiser Police Department. There's nothing filed. So no, I'm not accepting service from them. Okay. Absolutely not. It's fake. They have fake service papers. And the girl is like, she's like, oh no, I got to serve them these papers. Like they printed up a fake lawsuit,
So these papers that he printed up are
fake. Yes, 1 billion, trillion, gazillion %.
Because they did end up suing, like 10 of them sued for $10,000.
Yeah.
But there is this thing called claim splitting where you're not allowed to do that. But he showed up in a Speedo with a piggy bank looking for the money because he didn't show up in court. So he says, oh, you forfeited. So now, so we win by default. And then he shows up, the store's closed. They closed the whole store over this. Not sketchy at all, by the way.
Yeah, it's weird. Right? There's a lot of weird stuff. This
is what's so intriguing about it. And then that was part one, ends with like, and we thought we won because we did the small claims thing, but then they closed the whole store. And then they were like, but we're not satisfied. We didn't get we want the Legos back. Closing the store was never our objective. Even they felt a little bit of satisfaction in that. And then they were like, we got to serve him the papers. Then they started a GoFundMe. And somehow the GoFundMe landed them all in jail. Like they got like swatted, like cops in full like armor with rifles, like pounded their house down and threw them all, threw cuffs on everybody. They're following them throughout the town. Who's Ben? We're looking for Ben. If you rolled through a stop sign, you were pulled over. Like they really start basically like police harassment.
Yeah, didn't they say I think they said that they were getting like death threats from them, and they were doing all sorts of claims.
They sent a lady in, and the lady's like, "Oh, I'm going to murder you," to Amanda, the manager.
And of course, Ben's like, "Of course I didn't. There's so much footage. Like all those footage, I never did that." And so it's like,
well, yeah, they were saying stuff like, "Oh, they got heroin in the car."
No, heroin. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
That's crazy.
The police apparently got a call that we had heroin on us.
This officer is going to conduct the search of your person because there are illegal substances in the vehicle. Really? So he's going to do that. I'm going to put this away, and then we'll be right. Don't reach in your pocket.
Josh goes, "No, you stole the Legos, bro. No, fuck you. You stole the Legos. You did it."
So you can go f*** yourselves.
Dang.
Man, you stole them, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
Yeah, you're a f***ing thief.
Dang.
Okay?
Okay.
You can shut the f*** up. That's
That's your fucking choice.
So they can lie all they want and accuse them of anything they want. Like I said, I don't think Reckless Ben is doing, like, he's trying to have people sign papers fraudulently sometimes, but he's definitely doing pranky mischief and stuff like that. But like, these guys are lying. these guys are doing the CEOs are and the CEOs stories change all the time. Like, we'll get to in the CoffeeZilla video where it's like, you knew that was not like the truth, and then you changed your story.
Oh, and then there was the whole thing where Josh was like, all right, you win. I'll give you back the Legos. Even though we later found out like they don't have any of them. And they're like, we'll do it. And by the way, I apologize. The CoffeeZilla video made me realize that the plural of Lego is Lego. The whole time everybody's talking about Lego, but I'm sorry, I'm saying Legos. I've said that my whole life. So
I'm saying Legos. We got some vinyls. We got some Legos.
Vinyls and Legos. He's like, yeah, just give me a written apology.
Okay, this is what I need done. I need a written apology from Brian. I need all the negative comments taken off. I need positive reviews on there to make up for the damage.
And I'll give you back the Legos. And come into the store and apologize to Amanda, and I'll give you back the Lego. So he starts like trying to entrap them into like, hey, like, come trespass again so I can call the cops on you.
Yeah, because Brian is like, oh, this feels like a trap. Like, it'll be admitting wrong.
Even like the body cam footage of Josh, he's going like, he starts like making demands of the cops. He's like, I want them arrested for this, and I want them locked up for that.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
I want them for stalking.
Okay, that's something I can work through.
Well, so you see here, he's making demands of the police,
and the cops like they omitted some of that stuff or redacted it in some of the body cam footage, which is weird too. That's weird.
Where they were like, they have to. Reckless Ben brought a process server to serve them, and they start hassling her, and but then like the cops have the process papers. And Josh is like, I don't want that. That's not mine. Those are fake. Oh, those are totally fake. Nope, they're fake papers. And the cops are like, oh, are they? I guess they are. And then like the cops go over to Reckless Ben and they're like, nah, these are fake. I've never seen papers like these before.
The police told me that they can't serve the papers for me because I'm lying to them, and these aren't even real court papers.
Not sure what this is. I've never seen something like that. To be honest with you,
these are court papers.
So it's fucked up. It's super fucked up. Oh yeah, they showed up with a peace treaty they wanted her to sign, which is really funny, and a Guinness World Record for stealing from old people the most. I'm watching, going like, what's enforceable? Like how much is too much theft? And you start to realize, you're like, well, the law clearly is in place to protect corporations from financial damage. Like if it came down to like an individual versus a corporation, like it seems like it's really designed for corporations, not for protecting this 83-year-old guy and his property.
Yeah, because you'd have to take him to court, and you wouldn't be able to afford a good lawyer, and they have a team of lawyers, and you're
so fucked up. So that warrant, they had a warrant to seize his house and run in there screaming with guns over. Because they were like, oh, we were told that you stole the Legos. I think that was part of it.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
Yes. The police department got an official warrant to search our house for stolen Legos. I should have seen this coming.
I was like, what judge signed off on that warrant? What the fuck is that?
I don't know. They basically sign off on anything. It's just like how they said you can indict a ham sandwich. It's like you can put anything through the process.
Too bad. I would expect a judge to be like, gentlemen, what's the evidence here? What? He's accusing you of stealing Legos, but you think he did? Is that what you're telling me?
You stole them, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
So it all came to a head just a couple of days ago, at least for now, where, they raised somehow the GoFundMe also is a big part of Bricks and Minifigs' case against them. They're like, oh, you made this GoFundMe to ... And that somehow was part of, I didn't follow that either completely.
Yeah, I think it was like you're stirring up controversy to raise money off of something. I don't even know.
For some reason, he was trying to get all of them to admit that the GoFundMe was my idea.
Hello. Obviously, Ben was behind the
GoFundMe idea as well, right?
I don't know whose idea that was.
So GoFundMe.com helped Brian recover his stolen Lego collection. There's a picture of an AI picture of Josh with money and an AI family.
I can see kind of why. You really can't. There are some things you can't do. Like you can't be like he is evil and stealing money because that is defamation.
Well, again, this is all through the lens of a YouTuber.
I know. It's you have to, like he is a clown and he's doing his thing for clicks, but
so they've raised $485,000 so far. The GoFundMe came down. It's back up now, I guess. So I don't know what's going on the legal side. I know that Bricks and Minifigs is suing Reckless Ben and Brian and their family for $1.3 million.
Brian Mansell is being sued for $1.3 million as part of a legal campaign against him and Reckless Ben and any of the associates.
You'd think like the PR is so bad against them by now. I think there's people who are like, are thinking like, oh, maybe I'm not going to go to Bricks and Minifigs now because of this whole thing. And I think they're toast. I think they're so if you keep going down this road, you're toast.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
they might already be
forever.
Yeah.
So, yes, as part of that lawsuit, there's a restraining order, and the restraining order forbids Reckless Ben from posting. He's been working his balls off on part 3. He said he's been staying up all night, wrecking his health. And part 3 is now done, but he can't release it.
I cannot even mention this company or I will be in jail and everything. Normally I would be like, screw the big guy telling me what to do. I'm going to do what's morally right. But in this situation, if I do that, then all my friends get screwed with this lawsuit and we lose all the GoFundMe money we raised, like immediately.
Yeah, and he said he finally is like getting a lawyer. So
it's about time, you know.
It's about time. At this point in time, when like the lawsuits are getting in the millions, you probably should get a lawyer.
There was a CoffeeZilla video we saw yesterday that was trying to hunt down where the hell are these things, because it was like either compensate me for the Lego or return them. So the question was, who has them right now? And the answer was they're kind of scattered all over the place, right? Like some sold, some were trucked off. I don't know where the truck went.
Yeah, the video doesn't really solve that exactly. The CoffeeZilla video is interesting because he does interview both the previous franchisee. And for some reason, like if I was Bricks and Minifigs, I probably wouldn't be interviewing with anybody. Like,
yeah, but he's talking to the CEO himself. You know,
it's like the CEO, the fucking guy with the waxed mustache and everything.
I'm the king of Lego. I would say like we have pending litigation. We can't speak about this right now, right?
But he's talking to him and he's changing his story about U-Hauls because like he was like, there's no U-Haul, there was only a rented truck, and then CoffeeZilla looks at the pictures and he's like, oh, if I turn up the brightness, look, there's a U-Haul, and he's like, oh, somebody did have a U-Haul.
Like if you were to look at the footage. The ring cameras, all that stuff, you won't see a U-Haul sitting anywhere in the parking lot.
Wait a minute. Zoom in on that photo. Bring up the brightness of this photo a little bit, and my gosh, there's a U-Haul in the parking lot right outside of the store the night of November 14th, 2024.
Why would you say anything confidently at this point? Why wouldn't ever be like, we're still investigating? Like, you know, like why would you ever...
Exactly, and why would you even talk to a YouTuber? I would just be like, talk to our lawyers, talk to...
Yeah. At one point, he made like a desperate plea, where he was like, well, come on, you can't just show up to the store demanding $60,000. I mean, don't you think it's reasonable that we asked, like, show us the proof?
Verification? Documentation? Is that unreasonable, do you think?
Well, I think they would say they provided the documentation, and you guys say you need more documentation. So, I mean, that's kind of the...
Right. A spread, like, I understand a spreadsheet and a contract are a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we never got that. That was never sent to us at corporate, by the way.
You're like saying that somebody has heroin and that they stole the Legos, actually. And, like, you guys have demonstrably lied. You're like clearly lying, and I don't know why. To what end? $50,000? Like,
yeah, it's like it's pathological. There's something just not. not right about the whole thing.
I'm a total normie on this topic. I am like super in the Reckless Ben camp, and I think that this corporation sucks ass. I really hope this has a very happy ending.
I hope so too. Yeah, I hope it just doesn't fizzle out and then they're just plagued with lawsuits forever.
I want to see Brian and his family get like $1 million. I want to. This is super fucked up that they've had to even go where it's gone.
Yeah.
But indeed, like, who cares about one man and his Lego collection? But it's like, because we can all remember a time where we had no recourse. We were like, what the hell? I thought that I lived in like a reasonable society, and I'm just stuck in this situation. Or like a contractor will fuck up something at your house, and you're like, well, I'm going to need that fixed. And they're like, sorry, the agreement says no, that I get to break everything, whatever.
Yeah, I actually heard a theory about the GoFundMe. Actually, was so the theory is that GoFundMe bowed down to pressure and took it down, and then they set up a Give Send Go, and GoFundMe got scared that the competitor was going to eat their lunch, and so they put it back up.
Good thought. Well, yeah, meanwhile, Patreon took a stand. Remember that, that guy with the beard? I remember like when he was under a lot of heat about like maybe like Sargon of Akkad or something, like when they were taken down. And so he was kind of like public enemy for free speech type guys. I think like Jordan Peterson was involved in that too. I'm thinking back to like 2017 or something. But now he gets to have a big PR moment because he was like, so Bricks and Minifigs told us that they want it taken down, and we have decided that they can go stuff it.
We have, in fact, unfortunately determined that Bricks and Minifigs can stuff it. We're keeping Ben's page up. And if Bricks and Minifigs doesn't like that, they can sue us. Patreon out.
Yeah, but credit where it's due. That was cool. That he.
Yeah, that's a good moment.
Yeah, don't be taken down just because the stupid giant Lego conglomerate tells you to. We will be watching with great interest. And I think it'll be Streisanded like crazy too, right? Because maybe Ben can't talk about it, but everybody else is talking about it.
CoffeeZilla made a video. Everyone's going to make a video. Just because Ben has a gag order or whatever, everyone's going to be talking about it. I've seen so many lawyer channels talking about it, the legal aspects.
Legal, and right.
And everybody's on, even though if they're like, oh, Reckless Ben shouldn't have done that, but even though he shouldn't have done that, we are on his side. Like, everybody makes sure to know that they're on Reckless Ben's side.
One group is firmly an asshole. And the other one is a Hong Kong clown.
Yeah, he's a Hong Kong clown. He took up the Hong Kong, and he went in Hong Kong.
You've got Hassan Piker and Asmongold covering it, so I think it's an opportunity for the country to come together.
I think so. Yeah, let's all get rid of it. Let's all take down this company.
Yeah, I think it's totally apolitical. It's just about fairness, right? This is just about fairness. It's a property rights issue.
Yeah, exactly. Fairness, little guy, because we've all had opportunities in our lives where things didn't go our way because of something unfair, and this is our chance to make it right with public opinion.
Hey, look, I'm not a fan of mobs. I don't like them. I think, and they form way too easily on the internet. And I also think we should have grace for people who make mistakes, right? And like, I'm not normally a fan, but it's like, this seems appropriate to me. This seems like a good mob.
Yeah, it's a great mob. They should apologize.
Absolutely.
And give the money back, and then we can allow them to survive.
Oh, that'd be fine. If they came out, they were like, listen, we were overly defensive. We felt like you were demanding money that we thought was unfair. Looking back on it now, we were totally wrong. Here's your compensation plus a little extra. And we would love to keep having a store.
Yeah.
Even after all this, I think I would accept it. But they're going to have to, a little bit of a mea culpa for sure.
and it doesn't seem like they're capable from what I can see from their personalities.
I mean, what would it take for you to be like, oh, okay, you know what? Like, we've been sold a bad bill of goods in this whole thing. I think like one thing would be if you found out that the consignment agreement was bogus for some, like, you know, it was somebody didn't sign it, or there was some major qualification in it, or something like where the agreement itself was deeply flawed. But if that was the case, you would handle it. You would say that somebody had heroin. That's how you would handle that situation.
Yeah. There was too many lies made by the company and by players of that company that it's suspect. It's too suspect.
Yeah, their answer was, how can we possibly get him arrested? That was their focus.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny is after you left, I got a call from my boss, and it was like, how do we get them arrested?
Dang.
How do we get them arrested?
Let's blame the former franchisees. Let's get Ben arrested. Nothing on we're fine. We're nothing on us. From my perspective as a manager, if I'm overseeing a transition and whatever happened to the franchisees, if I'm overseeing that transition and something gets fucked up, that's on me, and it's on me to make that right. And since they're just instead of making it right, they're playing games, lying.
They acted evil. They were truly evil.
They acted evil. And so that's my problem. It's like, even if they say, oh, well, that was the former franchisees, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's on you at this point. There was an agreement and it's on you.
Yeah. Yeah, that franchisee is gone and you're what's left. So an agreement was made with a man. You got to make good on your agreement. Like I said, unless it's some bogus agreement, you know, we've never seen it in full. That would have been a good idea for Reckless Ben to like release all of like, you know, demonstrate all the documentation publicly. It would have been a good idea. But even still, even if it was even if it was like, hey, really sorry guys, but unfortunately you got swindled by the last franchisee. She had you sign something that wasn't binding. Like, that's how you would handle that, right? You wouldn't be like, police.
Please, he's got cocaine. He's got crack.
Fucking ridiculous. He stole it.
He stole it with his cocaine.
That Josh guy kept going. He's like, are you young? Are you young? He must have asked that like 25 times. He was like, in the body cam footage too, he's like, I mean, I think the guy's like 25 years old. You know, I think he's real young.
That's not how it works. Are you young?
Like, he was really obsessed with how young Ben must be.
Almost saying like a naive idiot or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like I understand that it's perfectly fine to steal from an 83-year-old.
Yeah. I am wise and wise in my like way to rip people off.
You know, I think everybody should make AI imagery of Josh, the fucker, with stacks of cash, with sad families behind
eating the money.
Only on YouTube.
I'm now no longer allowed to talk about them, and looks like this might be it. So.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.